my name is Ty Carrier, and I am going to be teaching you for the animation course this summer. 2020 is the first time this course has been online, and that's due to a lot of things going on in the world. Having said that, we're all prepared where essentially this is going to be a class where you're going to be doing all the work from home, and we'll be checking in a couple of times a week to actually have a few blocks of time where we can use Zoom and go online. So this is my hello, welcome to the class that'll be popping up. It's not published yet, but you will have access very soon, and look for the announcements where you'll also find the information I'm about to share with you. So this is a 3D animation class, and this is where we go into a lot of the principles of animation. We'll be using industry software called Maya, which is used for both movies and video games. A little bit about me. I've been teaching for a couple of decades now. I was the director of a game art and design program at a for-profit college for about 10 years. I work currently between 3 different colleges, and I've been at LMC since 2011 and love it. I've also worked for a lot of companies like NASA, Sega, and Intel over the years, as well as doing small projects of my own and just consulting on different projects. And I've been teaching online and hybrid and face-to-face for several years. So enough about me. I'll send you a link, and then you can see some more info. So since this is condensed, we only have about 6 weeks to go over everything. Let's talk about just getting a few things out of the way. Number one, if you are one of the students who are on a wait list, I'm going to send you a link with what you will need to actually do, and you're going to have to keep track of that. So if a space opens up, which always happens in the beginning of a class, you'll be able to jump in, and you don't want to wait a week or two to try and get in. We have a short window because there's only 6 weeks. You also have my contact info, so you can always ask me questions, right? So what do you need to do to prepare for the class? Number one, you need a computer that can run the software, and then you need the software. So fortunately for you, the software that we're going to be using for the most part is free, at least most of the software. Maya, and if you like, you can also download Mudbox. They're both from Autodesk. And the way that you actually get to that is you actually have to go in and do a search for Autodesk Maya Student Free, and I'll send you some written out instructions. And what you'll see is Maya Student and Educator software. You click on that. You create an account. This is for a student account where you get a free license for a year, and then you can renew it if you're still in school. So you create an account, and then you have to sign in through here, and then you choose which version. Will be working on Maya 2020. If you have an older computer that's not like the last 2 or 3 years, you may have to go to Maya 2017, and that's just because of certain hardware issues. Then you choose what operating system. Most of you are going to probably be on a PC, and obviously what language, and then you click and install, and it's that simple. Mudbox is the same way. You would just do the search. Instead of for Maya, you would do it for Autodesk Mudbox, but we're going to be using Maya. Mudbox is just sort of a bonus. I'll send you a link for the sound program that we're going to be using, which is Audacity. If you have Creative Cloud, that's going to be awesome because there's a few extra things that we can do, and that's the Adobe Creative Cloud. So like Photoshop, Adobe Audition, and Illustrator. So you won't, it's like, oh no, I can't do it, but it will help you out with certain things a lot, especially like the first assignment. to use those programs when we're just planning out what we're going to do. And I will have instructions on how you actually go through in a video on how to check if your computer is ready. The biggest things are, and I understand not everybody is going to be tech savvy. The simple way of saying it is if your computer is capable of running current games like in the last few years, you should be able to run this software with no problem. That means it has to be either Windows, preferably Mac recent. Chromebooks won't work. Tablets won't work. It has to be one of those two. The biggest thing is the video card. So ideally, the guys who play games, you guys are going to know what I'm talking about. Everybody else is going to be, I don't know what. And I'm going to show you how you can check that. So what you need is an NVIDIA card, preferably, or an AMD card from the last 4 years or so. And that should work fine. So how you would check that is you'd go down to this little bar down here, and I have another video that's separate it's just focus on looking this up, and then I'll send you that as well, but just as long as I have you here. Essentially what you'd have to do is to find out what video card you have, you can just go in and type in device manager. You see I just go there, boom. And then you would go to display adapters. And so I have in this computer that I'm working on right now, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070. That'd be awesome. NVIDIA GeForce, pretty much a 1050 and above GTX or an RTX, any of the 1600s, that'll be fine. To know if you have the other specs that you might need, you can just type system information. And right here we see, as long as you have an Intel or a AMD CPU, it's not that big of a deal. You should be fine. Ideally, RAM-wise, you want at least 8 gigabytes on your computer, if not more. But 8 is the bare minimum. 4, it's going to be chugging really hard. So it'll still might work, but it'll be not moving too fast. But the biggest thing is that video card. So an AMD Radeon of sorts. And once again, if you have questions, you can send me an email. Just send me a screenshot of what you have, and I can tell you whether that's going to work or not. So beyond that, for the Mac, you would just go in, if you're using a Mac, you would just go up to that little top bar where it says Apple, look up about this Mac, and then see if what kind of video card. Once again, you're looking for a Radeon. So like this is a lower end. What you don't want to have on either the PC or the Mac is where either in the device manager or on the Mac it says just Intel HD or Iris. There has to be an NVIDIA card or a Radeon card in there, otherwise it won't work. If they're both, a lot of computers will have 2 of them. That's fine, and I can show you later how to designate so that the software is using the right one. But just understand, if you play games, which a good portion of you do, this is going to be probably the easiest way of checking. And if you play games on it that are like your Tomb Raider, Call of Duty, stuff like that, you probably are good. So just a quick run of what we do, and then I'll show you just a few examples. So number 1, live session. So this is an online class. Never mind that. This is an online class. So what that basically means is that you guys need to post and turn in every week, right? We're not in a session that's live every day. That's going to be up to you to actually do the work at home. There'll be videos that walk you through everything, and then we'll meet up a couple of times a week where you can ask questions, do critiques, we can get to know each other, right? Tuesdays and Thursdays will be the times that we meet up online. I will send out what the times are and what the link is. Don't worry about that yet. And then you can plug it into your calendar. So you will do weekly posts to show your work, and we'll be doing that on a program called, or a site called VoiceThread, as well as on Canvas. And that's where you'll go in. I'll give you a link to this, and then you post up your work like these students did, where you can see some of the work that they did on there, right? And then we give critiques and feedback, and once again, we'll talk more about that later. So we have our live sessions, as well as we have discussion posts. So you guys will have to post up. These things count as your attendance. So typically you post, and then you give feedback to a couple of people. So this is a good way of also getting to know each other, since we're not face-to-face, but it also lets me know you're still there. So you have to post stuff or turn in, at the very least, check-ins every week. It's only 6 weeks. I'm giving you the software links that we talked about of the software that we need. Communication is super important. So we're not face-to-face. So what we'll have to do is we're going to have to make sure that we stay in contact, right? This is college, so it's going to be up to you that if you're like, man, I want to take this later, or later in the fall when it's hybrid, or I don't have a computer, drop from the class, you know. Otherwise, you go through the class, you get a bad grade, you have to pay for a class you didn't do anything in. So you take that first week or so, and I will post the dates of how long you have to withdraw. But that's on, you know, that is on you. I do get to a point where I start dropping people. I don't like doing it, because then people are like, hey, I was still in the class. I was like, I didn't see you. So, you know, take the responsibility of doing that on your own. Let me know if something is going to be late, if you're having technical problems. You guys will have several ways of contacting me once the class starts. So you have to let me know what's going on, if you're having troubles, you know, and then we can fix them or work on them. And be creative, have fun. We're going to be using the same software that you see being utilized for your favorite video games, for movies like The Avengers and stuff like that. And we'll do different assignments each week that lead up to the final assignment, which is a narrative that you're going to lip sync and animate these 3D characters to, right? So it'll only be at the end like a 10-15 second one. This is one I started working on just in class, just to kind of show some of the progression and block up. But we'll be going over the principles of animation. We'll be doing ball bouncing to show weight and squash and stretch. We'll be looking at character poses and how you can communicate using your body and observing that. We'll be looking at cartoons as reference and different CG animation and 2D animation from Looney Tunes and Disney. So it's a really fun class, and we learn a lot in a short amount of time. So you want to make sure that you have the right tools and that you're really into it and that you have fun with it. And before I leave, this is just an example. This is what's called a block out. It's not finished yet. It's a work in progress. And this character here is the one that is mostly animated. I haven't gotten to this guy that much. He's just barely moving. And this guy's not done yet. So, but it should give you a good idea of where it's going.
In a world where laughter was king.
No, in a world, Jack.
What do you mean, no, in a world?
It's not that kind of movie.
Oh? Okay. In a land that...
No, in a land either.
In a time...
I don't think so.
In a land before time.
It's about a comedian, Jack.
One man.
No.
When your life is no longer your own.
What does that mean?
When everything you know is wrong.
That's wrong.
In an outpost.
No.
On the edge of space.
There's no space.
A girl.
No.
Two girls.
No.
Now.
No.
More than ever.
Stop it.
A renegade cop.
I hate you.
A robot renegade cop.
You're fired.
So that gives you an idea of what we'll be doing. We'll be doing some crazy stuff with the characters. We'll be having a lot of fun. We'll have to cut down our sound to like 10-15 seconds of what you want to animate to, and that'll be our final project. But we have some projects to go before. The first project is actually going to be one that is doing a little bit of 3D modeling, because you might want a set for your animation that you're going to do. So we're going to spend just a couple of weeks doing some modeling and how to build stuff so that you can have props and sets. And that's a good introduction for that. And then we're going to just go straight into animation. So we won't be spending too much time on it, but just so you can, like, oh, if I need some stuff, and just to get used to the tools. And then we're just going to jump right in after that and get to it. The program looks pretty extreme. I've been doing this for several years. It's not as bad as it looks, and you don't have to memorize all the insane amount of menus. We'll be using a few things over and over again, and then you'll see how quick you'll pick it up. It usually takes about a week to get used to it. So once again, welcome to the class. I look forward to working with you. If you have any questions, my email is included, so just send it to me. If you have questions about the hardware, like does my computer capable, go to where I showed you, take some screenshots and send it to me, and then I can tell you real quick whether or not I think it'll work. And then the first week is going to be getting us a little bit set up, everybody on board, and just working on some stuff to prep for things we'll be working on for the rest of the term. So be safe, have fun, and I will see you soon.